Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? Hold on one second here. I'm going to get the screen sharing going. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading session. All right. Sorry, I'm not a very good multitasker. Just getting myself organized here. All right. Okay, got everything under control, I think. So once again, good morning. Welcome to the trading room. For those of you new to the trading room this morning, welcome. Please feel free to ask any questions or request markets if you like. What I'm following here is the NASDAQ with the DTS and the Raptor trading system. Let's take a look here. Yesterday's session, of course, we saw the market fall off in a rather big way, right out of the open actually. Big decline through the morning session. The rest of the day, the market was going kind of sideways, not a real big surprise there. And a little bit of a rally back through the overnight. So that leaves us with a little bit of an opening gap to the downside. And I might think that we're going to see that fill. Here with the Eagle, we've actually got a rule of 3 signal right out of the open. And it looks like the market may try to get down there. Here the hawk gave us a first micro macro cross right out of the gate. So overall things starting with a little bit of a more bearish tone. Wow, there they go again. Okay, well, I'm just going to give them a moment here. Get their bearings. So the seller's making an early push lower. Okay, so the hawk now into yellow bars. That kind of spoils our signal there. The falcon producing a green trend line. And here we're getting a crossover signal on the Raptor. So the cloud crossover. Let's see, did we get enough out of that to find the profit target? Ooh, look at that, they're just flinching a little bit shy of our profit objective. We may come back here with a soft edge buy signal. And there it is right there. Okay, I'm just going to buy into that. Oh, did they slip me a tick on that one? And I'm going to cover the trade below the lows. The low of the morning. All right, this is a little bit of a testing the water kind of trade. So we had the quick run down, saw the market stall. If it's not going lower, there is a chance they may try to go higher from here. Stop it. At least a little uptick. I don't think we're going to see a full trend reversal, but a little uptick does seem likely. All right, hooray for us, hit our profit objective. And the auto break even. Oh, come on now. Don't be flinching already. All right, let's see if we can't get a little push higher on this one. Come on, let's go. Nope, got the pullback, but that's all right. I'll take the break-even stop out. And we'll put that back on the shelf for now. Well, we're getting an early cloud crossover. We're getting also a late filter entry here with the Falcon, the late filter entry to buy. Oh, now everything's turning over again. Look at that. The seller's not happy with that little buy rally. In fact, you can see here the Raptor coming back with a hard edge bounce signal. So here's another trade that we can take a second push on. Can I cover it above the high? Ooh, I can. Okay, well, we can scrub that for now. Got ourselves a little bit of a sideways sort of market here at the moment. We are getting a first micro-macro cross higher, so we might anticipate a little bit of an uptick here. At least enough for a scalp. Let's see here. Elmer's asking, good morning, Eric. Well, good morning, Elmer. Quick question. I looked at the FDX Mini, and it looks like the normal settings are not producing enough follow-through. So should the birds be set to 4, 6, and 8, and the Raptor to 6? What else would need to be adjusted eventually? All right, if you're open up a chart, and your chart is funny looking, you probably need to go to the faster settings. So with the Raptor, what you're going to do is you're going to go and we're going to change. So go into your Raptor window, and we're going to change the cloud size from the default 8 and 12 to 4 and 6. Then we're also going to change the hawk brick size to 4. So those are the alternate settings, 4, 4, and 6. You're also going to need to change your tick size on your Raptor chart to 4 ticks. And you do that by going to your data series. So this value you will change to 4. As far as the other birds are concerned, pardon me, you're going to change your hawk also to 4 ticks, your falcon to 4 ticks, and your eagle to 6 ticks. And those faster settings should give you a normal looking chart. And I'm using air quotes when I say normal, but the idea is that you're going to see some signals with some follow through to them. The signals may not always work out, but you're going to see at least enough follow through that maybe you can hit your high probability target. So try that, and if that still isn't working for you, send me a screenshot and I'll see if I can't modify it. But 99% of the markets you are going to trade, the default settings work just fine. For that other 1%, the faster settings usually will do the trick for you. Elmer says, thanks. Do you have any views on the FDX Mini? I've never traded it, so I can't really say one way or the other what fills are like or slippage. I would watch it a little bit first, and you know, when you start with like a 1 or 2 contracts, don't go in too heavy, and just see how they treat you. They make the mini markets for smaller traders so that smaller traders can participate. And they usually make the mini markets so the big traders can take the small traders' money. That's not always the case, though. Oh, I didn't know that. Elmer says, just thought because it's $5 per tick like the NASDAQ. I did not realize that. Yeah, anytime you can find a market with a small tick value, it's always worth investigating. The smaller tick values give us little guys a little bit more staying power. So, yeah, I may have to take a look at that. All right, we're going to do a little experiment here. John says, what if I wanted to trade a 20-tick chart on the Raptor? What would I do? All right, well, let's throw a 20-tick chart on here. Okay, so when you put a chart on, first thing I do is I take a look at the signals that are producing and what kind of follow through I'm getting. Obviously, you can see the signal's not that bad, the band getting very, very thin. And you're probably going to limit, yesterday was a very, very active session, but otherwise, you're probably going to limit the number of trades you get in a day. That's not a bad thing. All right, so there's your 20-tick chart. If you're not happy with how those signals are and you want to expand your clouds, then we need to go here to the indicator window and go to the Raptor. And now we're going to adjust our clouds. So there's a loose relationship between the clouds. You can see that there's approximately a 1-to-1 and then a 1.5-to-1. So if we're going to maintain that relationship, we'll put 30 ticks in the big cloud, 20 ticks in the little cloud. And then the hawk is also like 3/4 of what the normal brick size is. right? 6 out of 8 would be 3/4. So here, 15 out of 20 would be 3/4. Now that should give you roughly speaking a normal looking chart. Yeah, there you go. That's not bad. So if you, like I say, if you kind of maintain that relationship, you'll probably get a cloud that looks like your average cloud. Just looking at some of these signals, you want to make sure that your signals are producing correctly as well. And you may need to go back a few days just to observe them all. And again, it's not that every single signal is going to work out. It's just that when I produce a signal, do I get enough follow through to at least find my high probability profit target? So if I took this number 3 signal that's right here, yeah, okay, no problem, that signal worked out. And just go through, check a few of your signals. Obviously this number 2 signal failed. The next number 3 signal had huge follow through. This number 2 signal, no problem. This number 1 signal, no problem. And you just go through your signals and make sure that everything is working more or less. Like I say, if you're at least hitting your high probability profit target, then you're probably in good enough shape to trade it. The nice thing about the Raptor 2.0, of course, is that you can play with the settings, right? There's nothing to keep you from experimenting and perhaps running a bigger hawk brick or adjusting the cloud sizes some more. The options are there for you to do stuff like that. To tweak it to your liking. All right, we're kind of stuck a little bit sideways here at the moment. Sideways to down. Yeah, no problem, John says. Thanks. Some Forex charts show trends better at the larger tick size. And I think I've mentioned this before as well, but there's nothing wrong with taking a look at a daily chart and kind of saying, hey, here's my daily trend. Why don't I stay with the daily trend? All right, here we're going to attempt to short this now off the with trend signal. And while that's happening, I'm going to build a daily chart and show you what I'm talking about. Or you can do hourly or whatever, any type of longer time frame to give you a bird's eye view, if you will. Okay, so here now is the daily NASDAQ. And you can see the market's very conflicted, no question. We've got a market that's been in a very strong uptrend, and now all of a sudden we're putting in a huge reversal. You don't need to be technician, the super technician, to realize that this is a very, very bearish bar. And now the market's kind of struggling, right? We're moving kind of sideways. So there's equal forces here at the moment pushing the market up versus pushing the market down. So this chart's a little bit conflicted, but if I showed you the chart like this, you would be more inclined to say the market is in an uptrend at this stage. So what that means is when you're looking at a chart on an intraday level, you're probably going to favor buy signals to sell signals. And likewise, if I shrunk up the chart a little bit and showed you the chart after this day, you may be more inclined to look for sell signals during the day. Now look at the tail on this bar. So if you entered this day here with a seller's bias, you would have done okay. Even though the bar finished strong, there was a lot of selling going on. And the next day, there was a fair amount of selling. And the next day, so you see all these traders looked at this bar and said, ooh, I'm going to have a more bearish bias on the day. See, and this day there was selling. A little selling, but a little bit more moderate, not quite as volatile. This was perhaps the only day that would have been a little bit more difficult, even though it opened up here, and you see it rallied down, but then had a little bit of a stronger finish. The next day, good selling day. Oh, this was a write-off for the sellers. If you were selling this day, well, it's hard to tell from the daily bar there, but it looks like it opened, it closed near the high, so that was a rally day. A tough day for the sellers. Some selling going on, and then here you go, the sellers start to take control again and start pushing the market down. So out of this week, 2 weeks worth of trading, you may have had 1 or 2 days that would have been a little bit difficult. Otherwise, you would have found yourself on the right side of the market probably more often than not. So yeah, it's I think there's an advantage to looking at a longer term chart, trying to pick up a bias if there is one. Of course, you still need to trade what's in front of you. But at the end of the day, that's what we do as traders. We try to weigh which side is stronger, the buyers or the sellers. And then we try to get on board with that side. If we're right, hooray, we make money. If we're wrong, that's okay. You know, we will be wrong at times, but that's why it's so important to control your risk. When you are wrong, you don't blow yourself up. Wow, they're having a little trouble here. trying very, very hard to be patient, not crowd the market too much. We definitely have ourselves a bit of a sideways session today. And that's kind of to be anticipated as well. If we have a big rally day one day, either higher or lower, we can probably expect the market to go a little bit sideways the day after, maybe even 2 days after. All right, so when this started, it looked like we might have been having some follow through on a trend, but did not happen. The market bouncing off the lows of the day, giving me a little bit of grief right now. if we can see the market trade below the primary support line, I think it may convince a few traders that what's actually going on here is a little bit of a bearish flag. So if we can trade below 58.93, there's a good chance we'll at least see the market try to retest the lows of the morning. Come on down. Here we go. They hit 93.25. Yep. You can do it. And 93.25. Just a little flinch. Oh, come on, you guys. The Geiger counter was loading up here to the short side. I thought we were going to get a little bit more of a pop. But right now, they are holding tough. I'll get those lines out of the way so that the market has a chance to move lower now. Here we go. Come on. Give me that little push through 93. There's 93. Oh my gosh. Come on. You know you want to. Well, if we get one more push back here, I'm thinking it might be time to go. The sellers are starting to lose their grip. If we can't get below 93, there is a pretty good chance they're going to try to rally it up. And you know, if you do find yourself on the wrong side of the trade, there's no point in wishing and hoping that the market will move the other way, because wishing and hoping doesn't work. I've tried it all, it doesn't work. I've tried begging with the market, that doesn't work either. So if you find yourself on the wrong side of the trade, just take the loss and get ready to, fix it. Perhaps look at a with trend or a a counter trend position or new trend position. There we go. That's the word. A lot of volume going through here. Trade forecasters saying we are in scalp mode for about another 15 to 20 minutes, after which we are moving into swing mode. So no surprise here that we're forecasting scalp mode. The hawk, very yellow. Yeah, Mark says the Falcon filter and line looking very indecisive. So they are. Looks like a tartan down here and a very weak trend or no trend. Back to the action on the Raptor. Come on. Get below 93. Oh my gosh. You guys, you're killing me here. All right, there we go. Took out a few orders. All right, let's see if we can't get a little follow through off that now. Here are the buyers trying to push back off of all these little itty bitty swing lows. Come on. Wow, we have got one serious sideways miss. Well, we know where the buying and selling is at, don't we? A lot of buying down here, a lot of selling up here. Come on. So if we were, let's take a look here at the Eagle. Maybe we can get a better perspective. Yeah, as I suspected, we've got ourselves a pretty serious sideways range. You could even probably draw a pennant type formation on here. Well, maybe begging does help. Please go lower, please. All right, almost to the low of the day. See, now the temptation is to get cocky and try to stretch out the profit target. After all, look how clever I am, or we are, if you're in this trade with me. I took this trade all the way down to break even. It's going to fall off the map. It's going to trade below yesterday's lows. Oh, I better get this trade to break even. I'm going to be a smart aleck about it, and then the market will tag me for a loss. Come on, don't flinch yet. Come on. Oh, you guys. After all that, to come up short of my profit target, and here's the worst thing, watch them tail off a little bit lower now. Not because they've stopped me out, but just because that's what the market has a tendency to do. It'll come through here, retest, bounce, and perhaps head a little bit lower. Oh well. See, there they go. Stinkers. Where was my profit target? 58.83. So they didn't hit the profit objective just yet. Very, very close. But it's yeah, it's a tough kind of day today. And now I think they're going to kiss my intended profit target. Did they get down to 83 yet? Or did they just stop at 83.25? 83.25, there's 83. There we go. So I would have made my profit had I not got tagged at break even. Doggone it. Hate it when that happens. Oh well. Such is trading. I was so patient with it and just got a little quick with my stop at the end there. Now we're into the primary support, or pardon me, secondary support. Primary support was up here. Might get a little bit of a bounce off of that. I don't know if we'll produce a counter trend signal. May have to wait for that for a little while. All right, so we're seeing a little bit of a reaction now off of the secondary support line. I wonder if that's going to give us a pullback to the hard edge. So no test of the extreme yet, unless, well, no, that doesn't really count. Don't want to start seeing things that aren't there. It's hard enough dealing with the stuff that is there without getting too crazy. Oh, there we go. There's a quick little uptick. As they may try to rally back to the hard edge. All right. So we're going to get a macro pullback here. The Falcon trend line already changing over. All right, here comes our retest. And that macro pullback signal, if you're just in for a scalp, you should probably hit your profit objective. So that's going to look like this. Yeah, John says the cloud crossover looks great if we only knew beforehand. Yeah, it took a while to get there, didn't it? We've had this nice move lower after all this congestion. We had this nice move lower, and now the move lower is drying up. So I'm actually getting a little bit more bullish now, looking for a buying opportunity. Francisco's saying check on crude oil. All right, here we go. Here's crude oil on the Raptor. Very, very tight daily range today. Look at that. Minuscule. Nice counter trend signal in the wee hours of the morning. Prices fell off, and now we're just kind of stuck sideways in crude. Although it looks like they're attempting an uptick as well. Getting to the hard edge. Where's my signal? Stinkers. Okay, we're into yellow bars on the hawk. If I get a red bar, pardon me, a green bar sell, I can look to buy that. Oh, there's the shoot. Come back here. Here's my buy signal. Let's see if I can get it with a limit order. Oh, I don't need it. A little bit late to the party, but let's see if they'll let me in. Now stops need to go down here because I may see a bigger retest before the market tries to head higher. And remember all the hassle we had around 58.93? Things could get a little sticky there again. So what this signal is here, this is a very, very weak soft edge buy signal. This, I'm basing it on this as my retest of the low. And this is a judgment call. As you can see, we did not print a buy signal. This is what I suppose you could term an advanced signal. We'll see if it gets to my profit target. Then I can say it's an advanced signal. If the market had first made a deeper retest of the low, then we would have printed the number 2 signal. Come on, get up there. I'll just give them a little push. Get it going. There you go. Come on, get up there. Come on. Get going just over that little hurdle. There we go. So if this bar forms, you can see my break-even trigger on the high of this bar. That'll be a good spot as any to take the trade to break even. Yeah, good question here. John is asking, would the pullback indicate a bullish move? A pullback and a failure indicates a bull move. So let's take a look at what this should have looked like in a textbook. We would have seen a move like this, and then the market starting to go the other way. This would have been our retest of the low, the failure when the market started ticking higher, suggesting that the sellers were no longer in control. A variation of this is that when the market spends a lot of time going sideways and you get the breakout, what you would anticipate is a little bit of a pullback and then the market to continue in the direction of the breakout, right? After all, it just broke out of a big trading range. This trading range has held the market all morning long. You would expect to see a little bit of a retest and then the market to continue lower. But that's not what happened, is it? The market broke out and then promptly failed. Started heading the other way. That suggests that there's no more selling. The sellers blew it out right here. There's nothing left. They did try to sell right here. That's why I said this was kind of an advanced version. of the number 2 signal, because this is all we got for a pullback. And I'll admit, this was, well, all trades are iffy trades, but this was a little bit of a crapshoot. And I think I'm going to protect a little bit more profit here. There we go. That's all they get, 1 bar. But it's kind of based on the context, right? It's, as traders, and I can't tell you how many times I look at somebody's chart or they send me a picture of their chart, and this is what they send me. And they say, hey, Eric, should I have taken that signal right there? I don't know. Why? Why don't I know? Well, because there's no context. There's no context to this chart. I need to be able to look back at the chart and say, this is what preceded it. All right, well, we got tagged for a little profit there on the reverse, and I suppose in hindsight I should have put my profit objective at 58.93, knowing that that was such a problem spot before. But that's okay. We've eked a few dollars out of the market this morning. I think the overall bias may have shifted, though. We may see a little bit more of an uptick here today. What I suspect will happen is that we're going to get a slightly deeper retest of the lows. Now the sellers are back in selling territory, right? The selling took off on the break of 58.93. So this is where the sellers feel comfortable getting into the market. And they may try to push the market down a little bit, and then we'll see whether we get a proper number 2 signal. But it is a little bit of a mixed bag this morning, to be sure. We've got our first micro-macro cross forming here as well on the hawk. So the hawk kind of confirming things, looking a little bit more bullish. Fortunately, to do that trade, you're pretty much committed to risking it below the low of the morning or the low of the day. And the stinkers did it to me again. Tag me at break even only to go up to my profit target. I may have to adjust my break even to be a little bit closer to the profit zone. Okay, maybe we're not going to get a bigger retest. Maybe we're going to go into a full cloud crossover. Look at them go now. This is the little rally into the lunch hour. Well, waiting for that cloud crossover to occur now. I don't know if they're going to give it to me. They're very, very committed to pushing higher here at the moment as we get close toward the lunch hour session. All right, here they come. Come on. Well, class, they're taking their time here. So they're going to try to reverse back to the hard edge here and hopefully come out of here with a buy signal. But that could take a little while. It may not even develop until the afternoon session. But we're going to button things up here for the morning, unless anyone has any questions. But that's what I would be on the lookout for. I would be on the lookout for a little bit of a pullback and a chance to buy in. I think the buyers have the upper hand here at the moment. I don't imagine it will turn into a full-blown rally, but I think if you take advantage of buying opportunities, you'll probably be on the right side of the equation for the rest of the day. All right, on that note, we'll button up shop and I will see you again tomorrow morning. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.